Welcome to the Sync Server install and setup tutorial for Mac. This tutorial assumes that you've downloaded and installed Sync for the iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch and have registered on that app with a username and password. You can find the page that I'm looking at through Safari or Firefox or whatever web browser you're using at sync.tooniverse.com. Now, if we want to install the server application in order to upload our photos or to have our photos on the server to connect with the apps, we need to just scroll down to the bottom. You can see that step 1 is to download the apps. Step 2 is to download for Mac. When we click on that button, you can see that the download's coming through right away. We can agree to the terms of service. Then we can close that out. Close out the website. And you can see that Sync Server 5.2 opens up in my Downloads folder. If your Downloads folder doesn't open, you can access your downloads through the Downloads folder on the taskbar. If you do not have a Downloads folder on your taskbar, you can choose the Home icon, the little house, and Downloads in here. Again, we're going to see the Sync Server 5.2. We're going to double click that to open up. And you can see the application and then your application's alias. So all you need to do to install is drag Sync Server directly over to the application's alias. It'll fall in and you can close out of here. Then Sync is in your applications folder. We're going to click on Sync Server. Now, because it's a file downloaded from the internet, you're going to get this warning. You just click Open, and you can see this queue pops up at the top. Because I've already logged in, I don't get the first run startup menu that comes when you first download the app. When you do, you have to enter in your username and password just as you do on your mobile device. In this little server utility, you can change the user. So we've got mrkeenan@gmail.com right now. I could change that to whatever I want using the same login credentials that I use on the mobile device. You can do a software update. The software will update itself from time to time, although you can do a manual check at any time as well if the software isn't working properly. In here you can also choose preferences, whether you want to start sync automatically, show the interface window on the startup, prompt the user when exiting the sync application so you can't accidentally exit out of it. Here you can see the email address that I've used to connect to the sync server. And then the sync name is the server name for this computer. For each computer that you install sync on, you can have a separate sync name, and all of those can be connected to the same account, allowing you to connect different libraries through your mobile devices. On the Mac, you have the Use Photo Library checkmark. If you check that off, you have to scroll through the folder system in iPhoto to be able to access your photos. If you use the iPhoto library, it uses the beautiful interface of iPhoto and the images for the folders and things like that in order to connect. You can also change the folder name or the folder location that you want to connect to. It does not have to be the iPhoto personal library. You can connect it to anyone on your computer. If we go to Photo Folder Viewer, you can see that yes, I'm using the iPhoto library up here. You can also add different folders for different reasons or different uses. So I could have a professional folder if I was a photographer with all of my professional work, and a home folder so that I could keep my personal photos as well. You'll be able to see all of those photo folders listed on the device, and you'll be able to choose between them when you go into Sync for the iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. Finally, we can quit the Sync server. But that'll round out our tutorial on installing and setting up your Sync server application for the Mac. If you need it for the Windows version, there's a separate download for that on the website as well.